PVL 2024 draft, the debut of Thea Gagate and the Zeus Coffee Thunderbelles in our 2024-2025 Premier Volleyball League All-Filipino Conference as they take on Fifi Sharma and the Akari Chargers, who are already at 1-0 standing as of today, as it sets us up for our matchup this Thursday, our second of this doubleheader. It's the Zeus Coffee Thunderbelles versus the Akari Chargers. We thank you all for joining us here on One Sports, on One Sports Plus, and of course on Pilipinas Live. Dip Pianco on call for this match, and I'm joined by Noreen and of course Kyla Castillo. Ladies, it's great to be back here in the PVL. Noreen, this is going to be a long one, the first of its kind here in the PVL.
Well, it's all just excitement, Dip, and we're excited to bring all the games as long as the conference may seem, but a lot of great volleyball action.
So let's get to it. We have to explain to our viewers, especially those who haven't heard about our format, how will this go in the 6 months that we will be playing this All-Filipino Conference?
Well, you did say 2024 to 2025 because it's a couple of months long tournament, and we have to say that this tournament is actually divided into stages or phases. The first stage is the preliminaries, wherein the 12 teams will go through a single round robin. After that, there will be seeded, and then there's like a broad crossover wherein one will play 12, two will play 11, and so on and so forth. That is the qualifying round. And then the winners, we have to say, the winners will make it already to, sorry, that's the qualifying. The winners will make it into the quarterfinals. The losers, they're not yet out. They are still given the proper opportunity to make it into the quarterfinals. The 6 losing teams will be split into 2 groups, single round robin, and the top teams from each group will be seeded or ranked 7 and 8. Ranked 7 and 8 will then join the 6 winning teams in the qualifying round in the quarterfinals. Okay, and then they will be seeded to 1 to 8 in a best-of-3 series, and you can see it's also another broad crossover. And then the top 4 winners will make it into the semifinals. Single round robin yet again. As we were saying, it is a pretty long tournament, a lot of opportunities for these teams. And then the single round robin, top 2 teams will make it to the championship series, and the bottom 2 teams will make it to the battle for bronze, all of which will be a best-of-3 series. So we did say a lot of great volleyball action, and for me, Dip, I would say it's not how you start with this kind of format, it's how you finish, it's how you end. So it's going to be different and interesting this conference.
Perfectly said and explained to us, Noreen. Particularly, the play-in tournament makes it all the more exciting. As you mentioned, it's about how you finish, because you still have a chance even though you finish at the lower seed in terms of the elimination round. So thank you so much, Noreen. We'll understand that better as we go along the All-Filipino Conference. But let's continue our discussion first for the Zeus Coffee Thunderbelles, who are looking to get that first elusive win as their franchise. It's never too latte for them. It's their third conference, second as Zeus and third as a franchise, but they still are looking good here in this new conference.
Yeah, for me, let's just summarize a bit their journey in the PVL. This franchise started the 2024 All-Filipino Conference and then the Reinforced Conference without a win.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say these are birth pains because they're a new team. But then, you know, with the introduction of the draft, they got Thea Gagate plus off-season acquisition. So the things, you know, things just look bright for this team.
And you know, Thea Gagate, #1 overall pick, could just be the game changer that they need. Right, Kyla? I think you were able to talk to Thea and you heard her thoughts a while ago.
Yes, that is right, Dip and Noreen. But can I just say that the brewing process of the Zeus Coffee Thunderbelles has been quite complex. You know, a lot of changes here and there. But with the addition of Thea Gagate, we can now finally ask the question, can they finally achieve a stronger blend? See what I did there? Well, of course, nakausap ko nga kanina si Thea Gagate at tinanong ko kung meron bang pressure, of course, with all these expectations and demands. At sabi niya lang niya sa akin na hindi na mawawala yon. Pero like a true blue-green spiker, matapang. Kaya walang uurungan si Thea this conference, and we can start seeing that today as she debut.
Right, stronger blend, tamang timpla.
Tama.
Yun yung mga abangan natin for the Zeus
Never
Coffee
too
Thunder.
latte.
Never too latte, of course. But thank you so much, Kyla. No, got to talk to Thea a while ago. But of course, she mentioned excited to go into this conference because
Very much.
let's look at the new lineup. Tamang timpla, because they have new additions from different teams, veterans here and there for the Zeus Coffee Thunderbelles.
Yeah, when I did mention that the future looks good, and looks bright for Zeus Coffee. You can see that obviously Thea Gagate, we kept talking about her. Then we have the addition of Joves Gonzaga and Chai Troncoso from Signal, plus Kate Santiago and Chini Arroyo from Farm Fresh. So, I love the different players, but the chemistry will actually be in question. But I'm sure there's great preparation. And then the key holdovers you have to mention, Mondoniedo, Ancheta, and Pascual, who were the core of the team in the last two conferences. But it's going to be, for me, a very interesting mix of players.
Right.
And they're looking for the first win.
That is the question for this conference. Will it be the right mix this time around for the Zeus Coffee Thunderbelles, who are, again, looking for their first win as a franchise here in the PVL? Let's transfer to the other side. The mga kalaban nila, ang Akari Chargers, of course. They played the game already. One win down the road. Faith Nisperos looks new coming off the bench, but looking good after that performance.
Well, Faith Nisperos, for me, it's a perfect example that if you're given the opportunity to show your wares and to play, you show your wares, coming off the bench and exploding for 16 points. You know what? Look at that. 57.1 attack efficiency. That's a great number. And we all know that what Faith can do. And she's just showing the fans, this is what I can do, and hoping that she can start games and play more.
And I think Kyla also was able to chat with Faith. How does she feel having come off the bench in that last game, but still providing 16 points?
Well, Dip, when talking about Faith Nisperos, we have to mention revival of her ferocious wings. The resurgence of Faith Nisperos. Well, earlier when I came to their dugout, she welcomed me with a big, big smile. I wish you saw her, and you know what she told me? Baby, I'm back. And I feel like that encapsulates the overall confidence that she will bring in this conference for the Akari Chargers.
I mean, your thoughts on that? I mean, she's coming off a stint in the national team. She has that confidence, saying she's back and ready for more for her club team.
Well, I think that stint from the national team rejuvenated her, like you guys said. And, she's learned a lot. It is a process. And, she just wants to get better. And she's back because I think her psyche is in place right now. And she wants to bring Akari a gold medal.
And she's not alone in the attacking department. She has Gretchel Soltones, the best of the beast, the four-time best outside spiker in the PVL, is ready for more action here in the tournament.
Well, for me, a player like Gretchel Soltones, for me, is one of the best acquisition of Akari, because you need to build the team, especially if a new team, with a great and strong foundation. And if you have a player like Gretchel Soltones who brings it game in and game out 100%, that's going to be a great solid rock that Akari can lean on.
Still in her prime, talking about Gretchel Soltones, so who's looking good in the pink and white, but she's not the only player who will be active in this game, Kyla. I think
right.
the middle blockers are also waiting for their turn.
And with that said, we actually have a question for you guys, because the PVL is back, so is the Pilipinas Live app poll question of the game. Right below the stream, you can see our exclusive question for you guys, which is whose middle blockers will control the net? You can answer that on the Pilipinas Live app, or you can join the conversation online by using the hashtag PVL2025.
It's going to be a good matchup. We're talking about Thea Gagate, Fifi Sharma, former teammates, and the rest of the middle blockers. So we'll start the match in just a bit. We can't wait for the Zeus Coffee Thunderbelles and the Akari Chargers. But first, we'll leave you with this feature of Michelle Cobb and Shar Ancheta of Akari and Zeus, respectively.
talaga ma-show po yung talent namin. And buo po kami as a team right now. Yung maturity po nandun.
We won't stop in terms of constant improvement and wanting to get better in what we do. PVL,
look out. Yung difference po na meron po this conference po is that buo po yung team and madami po nag-step up and nag-improve po kami sa net defense and offense.
The strengths of our team this conference, if we really, embrace it, would be our foundation in our system, in what we train every day. Because isa lang din naman yung sinusundan namin na sistema. So, I think magiging strength namin yun if we're all in sync and if we all follow and I think find our fluidity being in this kind of system.
Ang ma-expect po ng other teams, mas solid po yung net defense po namin right now with Thea and more of offense with Kate and Chini and Ate Jom.
The other teams can expect from us is we're gonna fight till the end. We showcased that last conference. I'm also expecting for me and my teammates to have that don't stop mindset, don't stop mentality. Naipakita namin so why not do it again and be better at it.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Phil Oil Eco Oil Center in San Juan and the All-Filipino Conference Season 2024-2025 of the Premier Volleyball League, the heart of volleyball. This is our second and final match for you for today in the preliminary round. And for match number 6, let us welcome our Akari Chargers and their challengers, our Zeus Coffee Thunderbelles. Presenting our national officials for this match. First referee, Mr. Erlindo Eusebio. Second referee, Mr. Bobby Celso. Let us welcome our starting lineup from our Akari Chargers. Let's begin with jersey number 2, Mariopi Sharma. At number 5, Gretchel Soltones. Wearing jersey number 7, Camille Angelica Cal. Number 10, Camille Victoria. At number 16, Ivy Keith Laxina. And at number 24, Christine Joy Soyud. Starting libero is number 1, Danielle Therese Ravenna. Head coach, Mr. Takayuki Minogue. Presenting our Zeus Coffee Thunderbelles. Team captain, wear jersey number 8, Chloan Montoniego. At number 1, Michelle Gamit. Wearing jersey number 3, Thea Gagate. At number 4, Kate Santiago. Wearing jersey number 9, Gail Pascual. And at number 10, Chini Arroyo. Starting libero is number 6, Julia Angeles. Head coach, Mr. Jerry. This match is under the supervision and regulation of the Games and Amusement Board.
Let's take a look at the starters for the Akari Chargers. You have Laksina, Sultones, Soyud, Cal, Sharma, and of course Danny Novena as Ezra Madrigal. It's actually not a starter, but it's Camille Victoria. And for the Zeus Coffee Thunderbelles, it's Pascual, Santiago, Arroyo, Mondoniedo, Gagate, Gamit, and Julia Angeles. So you see the Zeus Coffee Thunderbelles right off the bat. New players in their lineup, specifically Kate Santiago, Chini Arroyo coming off their stint with the Farm Fresh Foxies. And this girl right here making her debut in the Professional Volleyball League is Thea Gagate, #1 overall pick. But first point goes to the Chargers on that denial. Kate Santiago trying to get her first point as a Thunderbell, but sent right back by Akari. Fifi Sharma will make a start in tonight's match after coming off the bench and playing only one set in their first game.
Well, it is quite exciting that it's Zeus Coffee's first match. I mean, a lot of expectations, like you said, a lot of fans here to witness this match, so it's going to be a great match.
Right. 1-all as Kate Santiago heads to the service line. Soyud Angeles got the first touch, but Santiago was not ready for it. But first, let's send this to Kyla Castillo for this report. Kyla?
Thank you so much, Dip. Now, a storm is brewing, and since lightning always comes first before the thunder, let's first talk about the Akari Chargers. Now, a quick update on one of their players, Ezra Madrigal, will not be suiting up today's game due to a right ankle sprain, which he got during the training. But do not fret, because Fifi Sharma is ready to step up. Fifi Sharma, the versatile queen that she is, balances intensive training along with modeling and reporting. And so I asked her, how does she do all that? She jokingly said, don't have a boyfriend. But kidding aside, she's able to do all these and squeeze in much important mental health days because it's what makes her happy. Altogether, these things make her feel alive and fulfilled. What can we say? Fifi's in her raquetera era. Back to you, Dip and Noreen.
Thank you, Kyla, for that report. Well, that's right. Just last night, I was with Fifi co-hosting starting lineup, so she's doing a lot of stuff on the side, broadcasting as well, but she's enjoying. That's what's important for her.
Yeah, for me, it's okay. You know, you have to have a balanced life for as long as your busy schedule does not interfere or affect your game. Yeah, I mean, a lot of coaches will say that, but if you can manage it, then by all means.
And she is a starter, as we mentioned, having replaced Ezra Madrigal, who is out for today's game. Score is 4-3 in favor of Akari.
Well, early on here in the first set, we can see, you know, a little bit of miscommunication still on the part of Zeus. That's one thing they want to work on, and they want to polish, obviously, as the tournament progresses.
Scramble here on the side of the Chargers. Zeta already in the game. Arroyo. That's picked up by Ravenna. Here comes Ivy on the attack and the score.
You love the approach, you love the wind-up, and the kill. Just too strong for the defense of Zeus. I like what I'm seeing from Ivy early on. She means all business.
Yeah. So far, 4 different players from the side of Akari have scored a point each.
Yeah, we know that of Camille Cal. She will give the opportunities to the different attackers.
For Zeus, it's Thea Gagate who already scored her first point via a block a while ago, and Arroyo getting another point for Zeus. It's a 1-point game, make that 2 as Laksina scores another.
Yeah, just clearly overpowers the blockers. Blockers are there. It's just, look at that. She knew which arm to target.
Victoria will serve for Akari.
Good serve.
Mondoñedo with a set. Bit low for Arroyo, and that's going to be a point set back by the Chargers.
Yeah, you have to laud really the defense of Akari right now. Their net defense creating all sorts of problems for Zeus. And you know, for Zeus, they seem surprised with the blocks. They have to get used to that. They have to cover and, you know, be ready for a counter attack.
That's outside for Camille Victoria, so free point given up to Zeus. And that's where the Thunderbelles are getting a lot of their points. Actually, the unforced errors of Akari.
Number
3 service errors already. 5-7 is the tally.
Good dig.
It's popped up by Angeles. But another rejection. Camille Cal with a rejection as she brings us to our first technical timeout. But first, this block of the set is brought to you by East West Bank, the official bank of the PVL All-Filipino Conference. We'll be back after this. Arena Plus, astig sa sports. As you're back inside the Phil Oil, Eco Oil Arena. Cal coming off a solid block to bring us to the first technical timeout. She serves. They're up by 3. That's a running spike from Gamit. Picked up. Ravenna bumps it to Ivy. Coverage again for Danny. Laxina for another try, and this time it drops.
Well, she's been targeting the line, and she is successful. But one thing we're seeing with the game of Akari today, at least at the start of the first set, is defense.
Yeah.
And defense is really on point.
That was the Pilipinas live question a while ago. Posted by Kyla at the top of the coverage, asking which middle blockers will be active at the net. And so far, Akari doing wonders with their net defense. However, there's another violation there.
Yeah, that was called on Fifi Sharma. She wanted to put the second ball over, but they called it a push.
Too strong of a serve for Mitch Gamit. Coach Jerry, his second conference as head coach for the Zeus Coffee Thunderbelles. Looking for a breakthrough, that first very elusive win here in the PVL.
That would be huge, actually, for the morale of the franchise if they can get first short-term goal, a set, then hopefully a match.
Santiago is blocked. Speaking of those rejections, they continue to add to their total. That is their 4th block as a team.
Well, they don't have to have stuffed blocks. The fact that they're challenging the attackers of Zeus. You know, you see the coverage of Zeus really needs to step up here.
It's going to be a point for Zeus Coffee. Cut the lead down to 4 points.
That's just smart. Mondoñedo, I mean, that was an overpass Gretchen Soltones could have had that free point, but she, great block, which is what we always say.
Yeah.
Overpasses can be salvaged like that, like what Mondoñedo did.
And a service ace for Chloe Mondoñedo. That's their captain, former Blazer, winning championships in the NCAA, also winning MVP award. Soltones is checked, and eventually that turns into a block point.
Now Zeus is stepping on the gas in terms of defense here, giving Akari a dose of their own medicine.
That's Pascual's first point via that block. That's back-to-back, which means the lead is only down to 2 points. Or 3 straight points already for Zeus Coffee. That time around, it sails out for Thea Gagate. A while ago, her first point as a pro was via a block.
Welcome to the PVL.
Yeah.
Thea Gagate, #1 draft pick, first ever draft pick, actually.
And she's the only one who can get to say that, no, that's belongs to her. The first ever inaugural PVL draft, and she's the #1 pick out of all the applicants.
That's gonna go down in the history books of the PVL.
And she seems unfazed with all the pressure, and we got to talk to her a couple of times over at starting lineup. She would tell us that she's so eager to step on the PVL court, and she, of course, had those stints in the national team. But now, with the Zeus Coffee Thunderbelles, another service error for Akari.
Yeah, we always try to mention what benefits, joining the national team and getting international experience, what benefits the players can get. And we see normally it's the confidence of these players. And for me, for players like Coronel and Gagate, who are new or coming off the collegiate ranks, what a journey. You get to go to Alas and then bring that experience to your first stint in the PVL.
Right, and you can see that with Julia Coronel having played 2 games already for Galleries. Looks good.
Looks
in the first 2 games.
Yeah.
Can be used as a setter and an opposite as well. Now, speaking of confidence, Chini Arroyo had that point a while ago. She gained some of those when she was with Farm Fresh. Meanwhile, solid hit from Eli Soyud.
Well, Eli Soyud, from since time immemorial, we know she has the height, but now she's showing us versatility.
Right, this spike of the set is brought to you by Dunkin, pasalubong ng bayan. Mitch Cobb will enter alongside Faith Nisperos, who also came off the bench in their first game, but provided 16 points.
I know, and the efficiency was almost 60%, 37.1%. Whoa!
And that specialty of the house for Mitch Cobb, racking up the points as a setter at the service line.
Boy, we have to say, with the help of the net gods, and she will take it as it dribbles across.
Obviously not cold off the bench.
Oh, Mitch Cobb, always so focused coming off the bench.
Mondoñedo targets Arroyo. Popped up by Laxina. Soltones will try. Covered by Victoria. They transfer to the other side. And Nisperos will get her first point immediately. There was a touch. And we go to the second technical timeout. The Chargers are up by 5. We've been talking about her, talk of the town, the tallest cup of coffee. In other words, ang venti. Itong si Thea Gagate.
Yeah, I mean, for me, you see her, you know, whatever people can write about her. But for me, what's important is, aside from being the first and whatever, best blocker 3 times, 5 times, 1,000 times, for me, it's also the impact of her acquisition as the first round draft pick to a struggling new team, right? Haven't won a game, and the fact that they got her, I mean, that should boost everyone, and hopefully, you know, everybody can believe that we can actually win.
And that's the beauty of the drafting process, right? You go into a conference, you don't get the wins, you end up as last place the next draft, and when you enter the next conference, all of a sudden you have a chance.
Yeah.
You become contenders,
Yep.
and you have that confidence, as you mentioned, when you have a player like her.
Yeah, it's a whole different ball game, so to speak.
That was a point for the Thunderbelles. Mondoñedo setting up Chini Arroyo.
Sosa used to be the captain
Yeah.
of Zeus.
Thea Gagate will sit first. Mondoñedo got a touch. Kate will set up Pascual. Second try for the blue shirts. They go middle. Wala pa rin. Soltones. Cross court. Verzosa just entered.
Oh!
Bit of a miscue. Ends up as a free ball for the Chargers. Nisperos again. Long rally alert. The longest so far of this match here in set 1. And Soltones ends that one with a down-the-line hit.
Yeah, you know, that's what we're saying about a player like Rachel Soltones. She may not be the leading scorer of games, but come crunch time, when you need somebody steady and consistent, not 100%, but you know, 90% of the time she will deliver.
That is a check. Then free ball. Victoria will take advantage. And back to a 6-point lead for the Chargers.
Yeah, a great, you know, again, that was a great setup coming off the block.
Timeout called by Zeus Coffee.
Kung over tayo, mo-over pa rin. Inuutakan lang naman tayo eh. Yun ang ulam eh. Tayo, meron namang second, third. Ha? Kakalma kayo. Sige na, ganun talaga.
Kalma lang. Ano, kita ko dito. Hindi lang. Target ako rin. Sa line. Basta short.
Sige lang, basta huwag mo i-net, okay na. Huwag ka na magtago, hindi ka lang magtago.
Basta okay lang masabi siya.
Timeout called by Zeus Coffee. Most of the time, Coach Jerry just stays silent, lets the ladies talk. But I think that time, medyo marami na rin yung nasabi niya in that huddle.
I think for him, you know, we heard a lot of stories about how Zeus has been performing in training and pickup games. I think that they're not meeting his expectations, so he had a lot to say.
Well, they're down by 6, so he has the right to give that talk. Meanwhile, Laksina continues to score. She and Soyud both have 4 points each.
Unfazed by the blockers, we have to say. But, you know, for me, the setters, Mitch Cobb and Camille Cal, what a great job so far in ball distribution.
Slow down, Ravenna sets up Faith Nisperos. Mondoñedo tosses. Angeles says, that's mine. Pumps it to Pascual, but rejected at the net.
What a wall for Akari, we have to say. Ivy Laksina, Victoria, Nisperos, they just can't seem to penetrate the blocks.
Laksina coming off a great conference, the reinforced that is for the Chargers. And now has 5 points. Another timeout for Zeus Coffee.
Isa, one dimension, ilalakas. Anong bawi nyo? Ilalakas uli. Hindi ba totoo? Eh, may block talaga. Ilulusod nyo sa block. Ano, gaano ba Gaano ba kayo kabata? First time nyo maglaro?
It's a new conference, and we're seeing a bit of a newer Coach Jerry really being vocal.
Being philosophical.
Yeah. But I like what I'm seeing as you see Ozzy Ravenna, the rest of the players of the Akari Chargers.
Said Domingo.
Yeah.
Riding the bench.
Justin Hazareno.
I mean, not playing, actually.
I think Steph Bustrillo also there.
Oh.
Laxina just continues to pour in the points.
Boy, when you watch her live and you see her build and you feel that hit, and where is all that power coming from? She just packed a punch there.
It's a couple of months away from the PVL, just waiting to unleash. 12 attack points as compared to the 3 of Zeus Coffee. Total domination. Bit of a missed time, but that's enough. For Mitch Gamit, a much needed point for Zeus Coffee. Coach Jerry has been asking for that variation.
And the fans are asking for this substitution. You now see number 21.
Now here we go. Bionic Ilonga enters the court for the Zeus Coffee Thunderbelles. Another acquisition. Looking good in blue.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we saw her in a different color of her jersey. Let's see what she can do here in set number 1. But first, there's a violation.
Yeah, for me, you know, similar to what Gretchen Soltones can bring to Akari, I feel is what Joves Gonzaga can bring to Zeus. Maybe not automatic, not immediate, but I think it's a... You have to be patient. It's a process. And let Gonzaga try to lead this team.
Another point for Mitch Gamit. The last 2 points of Zeus Coffee coming from her.
Well, that was from a Jove Gonzaga pass.
Chini Arroyo serving for Zeus Coffee, 14-22. Cobb back sets Nisperos. Naibalik. A redo for Faith.
Wow.
And this time it drops.
Oh, that's all she needed. One redo.
Second time she won't miss.
Yeah, blockers are there, but yeah, she's changing the angles of her hits.
Starters back on the floor. Cal and Soyud.
Look at the front line. It's still a very formidable one. Laxina, Sharma, and Soyud. What's the average height of the
So hard to stop. Yandok. Backup setter for Zeus Coffee. Tried to go to Gamit. That brings the Chargers at set point with a commanding 10-point lead here in set 1.
Again, you know, they started off really with their net defense, and that just paved the way for everything good to happen for the Chargers. Oh, what a dig.
Soltones pumps it. Ivy for the finish. Not yet, says Angeles. Yandok goes back row to Arroyo. Cal picks it up. Straight to Nika. Julia bumps it
Good
to
rally.
Joves. Laxina. And it drops for the finisher. And set 1 goes to the Akari Chargers in comfortable fashion.
In comfortable fashion, I totally agree. But you have to say, aside from the fact the offense is there, defense just hard work altogether.
We'll talk more about this first set after the break. 25 to 14.
Well, you know, at the start, it looked like it was going to be tight, but then like we kept saying as the first set progressed, it's really Akari just stomping their class by the net, and that frustrated Zeus. That couldn't get their offense going, and then Camille Cal and then Mitch Cobb just distributed really well in the first set. Everybody contributing, even the people or the players that come off the bench. So overall for Akari, you know, it's a smooth first set. That's why they won handily. Zeus Coffee, again, back to the drawing board. Forget about the first set, learn from the first set and play the second set. If you look at the numbers, really pretty dominant, you know, 14 to 5, 5 to 3 blocks, 2 to 1 aces, and the errors just by 1. So it was like a total, you know, Akari taking from the previous conference. Well, they fell short of the championship, but they had a great start. They had the best start.
Right, and they're coming off their best conference. That is actually undefeated in the elimination round, 8-0 for the Chargers, wherein Laxina played her first conference as a member of Akari. On the other side, ZUS Coffee hasn't won any games. They were on the total opposite of the standings, and that reinforced. But let's see how they bounce back here in set 2.
Yeah, and they changed the starters. They opt to start with Jov Gonzaga. And let's see, you know, this 6 for Zeus and for Coach Jerry, they're hoping for a better showing.
Right, and let's see, it's the first time Gonzaga and Gagate are on the floor at the same time, together with Santiago and Arroyo. So 4 new players for the Thunderbelles.
Yeah.
It's Angeles and Mondoñedo, the lone holdovers on the court right now.
And again, you know, there are a lot of talk and a lot of praises for this team. So we're excited to see what that's all about. We didn't see it in the first set. So hopefully for their fans and for even for us, we get to see what Zeus is now really made of.
Right, and Kate Santiago transferring to the opposite position. She started off as an outside a while ago. Gonzaga, that's what she brings to the table.
Yes, hustle.
The push, oh, just a smart play from the vet.
Yeah, I mean, it's about time for this athlete, Elisoyo, to actually find her groove and play on a consistent basis. When she was introduced to the volleyball world way back when in LaSalle, and then she transferred to Adamson. It was like everybody knew she had the potential, you know, waiting for her to shine, and hopefully this is her conference.
Yung last game, as Thea Gagate gets her first attack point. A while ago it was a block. This is an attack and her second point in total as a Zeus Coffee Thunderbelle.
Yeah, playing it smart. Just dropping it there. That's what they need. You know, it doesn't have to be all strong hits. Try to just get some groove going.
Another welcome to the PVL moment there, Arroyo. That's Soyud. Laxina from the back. Dug up by Mondoñedo. They give up a free ball. Cal goes to Victoria.
Good get.
Players scrambling for the ball. Gonzaga will get her first hit and her first point as a Thunderbelle, as we send this to Kyla Castillo for this report. Kyla?
Depenarine, I hope you're ready for this. Kung drink ka sa Zeus Coffee, ano ka? I asked this earlier to Thea Gagate, and sabi niya sa akin, she would be an iced buttercream latte. Yum, right? Sabi niya sa akin, much like the drink, it's sweet, it seems simple, pero may sipa, matapang, which pretty much sums up her personality daw. Now, this matapang attitude na dala-dala niya mula pa nung siya ay isang lady spiker ay gusto niya ring ma-impart sa kanyang teammates sa ZUS Coffee. And with all these expectations and noise surrounding her, Thea told me that she keeps a positive mindset. After all, she isn't pressured by her team, but rather encouraged to just be herself. Again, sweet but definitely strong. Let's see if the caffeine in her veins kick in the second set and tie the game 1 set apiece. Depenarine, if you were drinks, what would you be?
Thank you, Kyla, for that report. But before we answer that, hindi scripted yun na nagre-report si Kyla at naka-ace si Thea Gagate, pero naikisama si Thea. And right now, it's a 3-point lead, but sabi nga ni Kyla, diba, sweet pero matapang. That's what we're seeing on the court right now as Cal responds. But sagutin mo yung tanong, Noreen, as we take a look at some of the Farm Fresh Foxies In the venue, ano bang paborito mong drink kung ikaw ay isa kang drink?
Kung ako isang drink,
Oo. Na kape Coffee ang team natin eh.
you weren't clear.
Coffee pala.
Sa coffee, I like cappuccino.
Cappuccino. Wala namang meaning, you just like it.
Wala. Sir.
Okay naman. Plain and simple. Straight to the point. Speaking of, naalala ko yung utang sa akin ni Mama Phil eh. Na kape. Sabi nga niya sa akin, meron pa siyang bet before last conference. I should ask that from her.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, a 2-point lead for Zeus Coffee, who are playing better at the start of this set, Nareen. What have you seen so far, the adjustments that they made that allowed them to get this 2-point lead?
Well, I think with the inclusion of Joe Gonzaga to the starting six is making a lot of difference. We see the hustle in defense, we see the net defense, plus Teaga got the serve. So, you know, I mean, these players are now feeling more comfortable, actually.
Right, and it's Gagate Gonzaga actually with 3 points each. It's the newcomers. Also Arroyo with 3. Santiago, another save almost by Gonzaga. But you see, hindi agad-agad napapatay ng Akari, just like in set 1.
You appreciate the effort and the hustle, you know. Like you said, it's better, at least you see the players trying to attempt than just watch. So that's a huge difference from the first set to the second set.
1-point game, 5-6. Santiago picks that up. Arroyo will attack. Sharma was lost in translation, and it's a point for Genie.
Yeah, and you see the difference. Now they're powering it through the blockers. You know, early on, they were all stops or majority stops from Akari.
The Thunderbelles.
Back to a 2-point lead. Arroyo serving 75. Good first
serve.
ball by Soltones. They go to Sharma. Picked up. Santiago will try. And down it goes.
First technical timeout. 8.
There we go to this first technical timeout. Zeus up by 3. Magi Mangulabnan also in the venue. A lot of volleyball players present, joining us on this Thursday night. We're only on our third game day of this conference and already 2 5-setters, Nareen.
Yeah, I mean, well, it goes to show the quality of the competition this conference, which is good, and it's going to be a long one. We did mention at the top of the coverage, so much to watch, so many volleyball games to follow.
I wonder how many 5-setters we will have at the end of this tournament, which will go on until next year. It's a 2-point game. Santiago, that's out.
Yeah. Well, they have to be careful with those errors because it's such a great start for Zeus. You know, you're challenging Akari right now with defense and digs, and then you have to be careful. You want to protect your lead. Oh, what a serve.
Chance here for the Chargers. Soyud, the drop. It works.
Soyud with a drop shot.
Boy, again, may we say it again, the confidence of Eli Soyud here as a starter for Akari is really off the charts, we have to say.
8-all. Just like that, the lead erased. And Akari back on top, 9-8.
Yeah, great change up there by Camille Cal. It was a very strong one earlier, and now just a little top spin, and it drops at the center. And it was flat.
Yeah.
We know that of Cal.
Another good serve. Mondoñedo to the running spike of Gamit. And that's off the block.
Again, better showing. You know, the blockers are there. That was Ivy Laxina, but they get it off the blockers. You know, that's what you have to do. You shouldn't be frustrated by the block. You should be challenged and actually inspired.
Bit too low for Fifi. Santiago again. Sultanes got a hand on it. Laxina is denied.
Good cover.
Fifi will set up the play.
Oh, good save.
Ivy couldn't get it done. It's back with the Chargers. They go to Sharma. Good reflexes on both sides. Ravenna saves it. Soyud. Set back.
Santiago.
On a block by Kate Santiago.
Boy, this is the Zeus that we heard of.
This block of the set is brought to you by East West Bank, the official bank of the PVL All-Filipino Conference.
Well, that was a great set. I mean, great rally, we have to say. Whoa.
Well, Laxina will respond with that hit.
We're tied at 10.
Boy, do you see the coverage of that contact? She literally hit it over the blockers.
Ivy Laxina serving.
That was there.
Another deadlock here in set number 2. This is our 5th deadlock of the set. And a much closer one. Another point for Thea Gagate. This time on the running attack.
You know, I feel every time Thea Gagate's in front, they really have to take advantage because her mere presence, we have to say, is or can or will intimidate the opponents.
Back set, Soyud.
Soyud off the hand of Santiago.
Another point for Eli.
11-all.
Racking up, heating up with 7. Just right behind Ivy's 8.
And so far, she has been consistent. With that, I mean, she becomes a threat, you know? So right now, everybody's a threat.
Yeah. That is way out. Wide for Gonzaga.
12-11.
Yeah,
Waves it off.
Yeah, you can see the follow through too long. You want to see the ones that are pushing the ball or hitting the ball down.
Sharma.
Sharma back at the service line. It's 12-11. Mondoñedo to Santiago. That was read perfectly.
13.
I mean, that was a great set. It looked like an overpass. Mondoñedo kept it alive, but look at the blockers. They were just ready for that combination play.
They weren't fooled at all.
Yeah.
Over-received. Good save by Santiago, and then Angeles keeps it alive.
Good dig.
So does Ivy. Cal to Sultanes. Julia working hard. Oh, that's a miss set for Mondoñedo.
Again, with the height of these Chargers at the net, the slightest overset will be punished by these girls.
All of a sudden, it's a 3-point lead for Akari, who were trailing a while ago by as many as, I believe, 3 or 5.
Yeah.
You know?
But we have to say, Akari, they're working hard for the points. It's not 3 points given by Zeus. They're really sweating it out per point.
Right, the biggest lead of Zeus a while ago was at 3 points.
3, yeah.
service, Sharma.
Akari turning things around at the middle part of this set 2. Sharma has been making a living out of that service area. Laksina. Redo. Another try for Soyud. Angeles with a pickup. Back set. Gonzaga covered by Klo. Santiago. Still nothing for Zeus Coffee. Soyud. Play continues. Here comes Gonzaga on the offhand. And there's
a ball touch.
Yeah, they changed the
All
call.
on the Chargers.
Because we all know that Jov Gonzaga really was out of position, but she knew she wanted to brush it off the blockers. Yeah.
For Zeus Coffee.
Just the slightest of hits needed. 12-15. Soltones.
Thomas on the hit out. Second technical timeout.
4-point game as we go to the second technical timeout.
Zeus Coffee.
We take a look at Jovi Prado and Sheila Quiseo of the PLDT high-speed hitters. Dina Wong also in attendance. Chocomucho getting the win in 5 sets over Galleries.
That was a long match, we have to say. 3 hours.
We were waiting for that game, and it extended and extended, but that's a treat for the fans.
Yeah, and like this match, at least here in the second set, that match was also really, they fought so hard.
Yeah.
It was exhausting, an exhausting match.
Captain Mitch Cobb serving.
Mondoniedo goes middle to Thea Gagate.
Attack. 13.
Well, we're going to see more of that. For sure, we're going to see more of that connection between Mondoniedo and Gagate.
This spike of the set is brought to you by Dunkin, pasalubong ng bayan. You know what, we got to talk to Klo Mondoniedo also over on starting lineup. She was saying nag-a-adjust din siya sa height ni Thea kasi hindi siya sanay na kailangan taasan pa niya ng onti yung pag-set. But that time around, it looked perfect.
17-13.
Yeah, Thea Gagate is a perfect player where people, coaches will say it, just set it, angat mo lang, because she's still in the air. You know, she doesn't have to wait. She can just hit it. Just make sure you set it over the net.
Soltones, meanwhile, will take whatever set she can get.
One-handed set works for Gamit.
Mitch Gamit responds
17.
to keep Zeus Coffee within distance.
I like that set. I like that set by Mondoniedo because if Thea Gagate is not there, you still have to have a variety of shots.
Yeah.
You know, it can't be just the wing hitters. You have to get Gamit involved.
Had to stutter step there was Laksina. Arroyo
Off the block.
makes that one 2 straight points for Zeus Coffee. So a balanced scoring for the Thunderbelles, Noreen, we're seeing.
Gonzaga.
Arroyo, Gagate leading the way with 5 points each. Gonzaga and Gamit with 4 apiece.
Good dig.
They make it 3 straight. But a dive by Cobb keeps it up. And Laksina almost using her length to that advantage, but A point awarded to Zeus Coffee.
It was too near the net, so look at the momentum
Yeah.
of that jump.
Timeout. Akari.
Lead is down to a single point, which forces Coach Taka to call for time. One-point game. Zeus Coffee on a roll here. And Gonzaga continues to serve. They go to Laksina. That is out.
Ball is out.
It's wide.
At 17.
And we are tied at 17 all.
Service. Gonzaga.
Our sixth deadlock. I'll make that 7.
Sina off the hand of Zeta.
Akari changes that quickly, getting the lead back.
Up by 1.
But I like the fight in Zeus. You know, after the first set, Coach Jerry made a couple of changes, and so far it's been working for Zeus.
Back set to Gamit.
Good save by Joe.
Laksina again.
Laksina off the hand of Mondoñedo.
Yeah, great set. We have to say Mitch Cobb, great set, but bit of a scramble in the defense of Zeus, and then look at the blockers. Slow to close, and that's a no-no for Ivy Laksina.
And she's now in double-digit territory with 10 points in total.
Are you surprised?
Set 2 not even done yet. Mondoñedo goes to Arroyo. Good intention, just a bit too long, but Zeus Coffee are confident that there was a touch.
It was a challenge, yeah.
For a block touch.
And I believe this is the first challenge
Block
called in
touch.
this game.
Zeus Coffee.
At a crucial point, as the Thunderbelles don't want to trail too far behind.
Because they've worked so hard to keep the match or the set close. But then I was looking at PV Sharma, really, she was sure. She's saying no touch.
Wala.
Let's
Wala
see.
raw.
Let's see.
This would make it a 3-point lead, if ever, for the Chargers. Or it could be a 1-point game.
Yeah.
Was there a block touch?
No. Not at all. Sharma knew. She knows her craft.
It's unsuccessful for Zeus Coffee. Akari scores and serves.
So despite the many things that she's doing outside of volleyball, her senses are right there intact, diba?
That's why she's being allowed to do all these extracurricular activities.
Esperos. Bit tight. To Mondoñedo.
Mondoñedo.
That's a good adjustment for the captain.
Thunderbelles.
Boy, that's the second time Mondoñedo averted a free point for Akari. She had a block on Sultones in set number 1. And look at that, she wins this joust. Again, if it is the setter you're jousting against, you cannot take them for granted. Their upper body strength is different.
And that timing too was perfect.
Yep.
A high free ball, but perfect control for Gonzaga. Santiago takes advantage to cut the lead down to a single point.
Yeah, and here comes Zeus Coffee. It's just a 1-point game. Boy, what an addition Kate Santiago has been for Zeus Coffee, right? The offense, great addition.
19-20. Cobb had to kneel there. No problem. I got you, says Ivy Laksina.
21.
Well, every
to
time she
19.
gets a set, she bails Akari out of all these problems.
17 out. 7. Cal. In.
You see the way she directed it?
Soyo.
Eluded the blocker, but just enough power.
Zeus Coffee. 10 out. 22. Tapia. In.
There's a substitution on the floor as April Tapia replaces Chini Arroyo. But what about the attack efficiency of Ivy Laxina?
For the Chargers.
Oh, close to 50%.
10 out of her 21 attempts have been successful.
That's a pretty good number.
Yeah.
Sini Tapia. Hindi ano sa offer.
Ay, nag-wait po ng clarification kanina na 22 po siya.
Nagbigay daw ng clarification kanina.
22 po siya.
Kalian natin.
Nagtanong kanina, sabi ko 22 si Tapia.
Clo Mondoniedo having a talk with our first referee, Lindo Eusebio.
Yung offer.
Hindi po kasi pinag siya sa amin kanina sa ano, yung sa inyo po. Tapos nagtanong, sabi ko po din.
And I think it's regarding the jersey number of April Tapia who just checked in. It might be a different jersey number that is showing in the official stable.
Yeah, and what they submitted prior to this tournament and prior to the game.
I'm thinking though, because Tapia was also number 22 in the previous reinforced conference. But again, it might be an error on the part, or hindi sila tugma, no? That's something that they are clarifying at the table right now. That's why Tapia couldn't officially enter the game just yet. These are things that are taken care of usually before the game starts, right?
Yeah.
Kung sino yung starters, sino yung mga naka-line up for that game, for that specific match.
And the numbers, the jersey numbers. That's actually very, very important because tournament officials are very strict with protocols. Like the color of your uniform, where the numbers are situated, sponsors, and so on and so forth.
She is not allowed as of yet.
Yeah.
So she heads back to the bench, but talks have been ongoing at the sidelines on whether or not she will be allowed to enter.
Well, they're still checking the official lineup. I'm looking at the officials.
And outside of it, there's a bit of a long lull that could freshen the legs of both teams. That's why they're trying to keep warm.
Yeah, especially for Zeus, because you're putting in a different player or you're having a substitution because you want a change, right? And the lull will actually, for me, benefit that team that wants it,
Substitution is
or
rejected.
that wants a change.
Yeah.
Camille Cal.
So Arroyo will stay on the floor. Play will resume. It's a 2-point game. That's too long for Gamit.
22 to 19.
I like her approach every time she goes for that slide, but this time, again, the follow-through is too long.
Zeus Coffee.
Zeus Coffee calls for a timeout.
Balik ng confidence, balik ng
Consistent lang. Kung anong kinikilos, yun lang nang yun. Iba-iba yung kinikilos natin.
rotate tayo Okay, isang dito tayo. Stop na tayo pang live match. Ayan, kaya. Sakay lang lang. Let's go. First ball. 20 muna, 20.
Timeout called by the Thunderbelles, who are trailing by 3 points. That time around, it was the players just discussing amongst themselves. Let's see what they do here. Santiago on the drop. Patay by Laksina, keeps it up. Way pa, Mondoniedo goes back to Kate.
Great dig.
Julia takes accountability for that ball. Laksina. Santiago unable to
sees the hole.
keep it high enough for the second ball, and it's going to be a 4-point lead right now for the Akari Chargers.
Yeah, that's just a smart tip from Laksina. She knows that Zeus is preparing for strong hits because she's been going to that and changing things up. Made life easier for Ivy Laksina.
2 points away from taking a 2-set lead. That is out.
That was close.
Long.
It's like Gonzaga followed the ball until it dropped with their own eyes.
And kind of blew it a bit.
Serving for the Thunderbelles.
Well, they're not out of it. They're down by 3. They got it.
Di ka pinatapos.
I was going to say they need to chase, you know, and try to play flawless volleyball, but no.
Yeah,
no.
that happens. But hey, they didn't reach
With a set.
even 15 points a while ago in set 1, but right now they're at the 20-point mark. So
Yeah,
that's
definitely a better set. I agree.
4 set points to be saved. 1 down for Santiago.
21.
3 more to go. The Chargers only need 1.
It's a strong front row. You have Santiago, Gonzaga, and Gagate. I mean, this is the best time for them to get some stops at the net. Oh,
And the set.
come on.
25 to
What are you guys talking about there? This is my point. Hindi natin patagalin pa, says Eli Soyud. Right down the line for the finisher. And a 2-set lead for the Akari Chargers. We'll talk about this set of the numbers right after this. happen in that second set, Noreen, that allowed them to keep that close?
For me, the first thing that they adjusted was the consistency of their hits. They were able to convert more from good defense, because we have to say both teams very industrious, you know, in terms of trying to dig, trying to keep the ball in play. We see that. I mean, you can't question the dedication of all these players, both sides. But they were able to convert, you know, the big jump in set number 1 was 12.5% attack efficiency to 33. So from 33 to 34 for Akari. So you see the difference already in the side of Zeus. And testament to what we were saying, the attacks, they actually equal Akari, and then blocks as well, aces as well. But yeah, the errors took effect also, you know, that kind of halted a bit more runs as they would have wanted. But I would say really Akari just showing us poise that got them the silver last conference, because they were challenged by Zeus, but they knew how to make those stops. And then the people bailing them out, like we always say, Ivy Laxina is doing such a great job.
Yeah.
And what about Ellie Soyu?
Right, she's been playing well tonight. So all those and the attack efficiency, actually pareho sila, eh. They were almost close in that category. Same efficiency in that second set, but the errors also. ZUS Akari Chargers turning things around. They had more errors in set 1 at ayos nila yun in set number 2.
Yeah.
And we talked about this player right here, Ellie Soyud, with 9 points. Laxina leading the way with 12 for the Chargers, as Sharma waits for her turn to serve.
Preliminary match between
She has 3 points. That's better than her output when she played off the bench in their first game.
Yeah, I'm looking at the lineup of Zeus, and now it's actually the 6 that we talked about in the pregame. Speaking of Chai Troncoso, Joe Gonzaga, Thea Gagate, Chini Arroyo, you know, now they mean business. So let's see these new acquisitions. How is it going to better their game?
Set 3 underway here on One Sports, on One Sports Plus, and on Pilipinas Live. Dip Bianco together with Noreen Go calling this match. We have Kyla Castillo at the sidelines, and her first point as a Thunderbell, Chai Troncoso.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that she's just given the nod to play in the third set, because when she was with Signal, we have to say every time she comes off the bench, instant impact, instant offense.
Who told me a while ago, by the way, I saw you gets her 10th point. But before we continue this conversation, let's hear from Kyla Castillo once again. Go ahead, Kyla.
Dip and Noreen, we often ask, what's the key to success? Well, for Coach Taka Minowa, it's best team effort. This All-Filipino conference, there is no more Oli, and as per Coach Taka, that is undoubtedly a huge gap to fill, considering that she's scoring double digits for the team alone. And so he constantly reminds the Chargers to take strength in one another, make an effort to give their best every single time, and ultimately it will add up, just like what's happening right now. Coach Taka also told me about how he's turning his girls into not just tactical players, but also thinking ones who have self-awareness and accountability. Moreover, he says it's too early to say whether they can replicate what they've done in the previous conference, but hey, they believe in the system, in themselves, making them halfway there. Dip and Noreen.
Thank you, Kyla, for that report. Well, the thing about the reinforced conference, you know, when you have your reinforced player, that could be a game changer, a total X factor, because usually that's their go-to player. But so you take out Oli Ocaro here in this All-Filipino, Coach Taka will rely on the rest of the players, but the experience that they gain playing in the finals, that's something that they will carry on moving forward.
And especially when you compare it with their previous conferences, right? I mean, when a team learns or embraces confidence, it becomes a different team. It becomes a better team. And that's what we're seeing early on from Akari.
Right, exactly. The first 2 sets have shown that. Zeus Coffee. Meanwhile, the shuffling has continued for Coach Jerry, trying to find the right mix. Sabi nga natin yung tamang timpla. Victoria will tie this one up again at 3-all. It's just gonna be a process for the ladies in blue as you take a look at this last sequence.
Yeah, I mean, Camille Cal, we have to say,
Chargers.
reading the opponent, trying to find the open opportunity for the hitters. Great setting.
Push by Kate. Doesn't work. Laksina. Flipping the net, but no problem. That's still a point.
4-3.
I like the reaction. She knew it was a miss hit,
Yeah.
but she still gets the point.
The spike of the set is brought to you by Duncan. Pasalubong ng bayan.
Service Victoria.
It's her day. She has 13 points.
Good serve.
That goes through but kept alive. And a pancake save by Laksina. They go to Gonzaga. The lefty
Gonzaga off the hand.
scores the point.
That's what you're hoping from Joe Gonzaga. Challenging blockers such as Laksina and Sharma. That's what she brings to Zeus.
Joe Gonzaga. Zeus Coffee.
Cal goes middle. Chance here for the Thunderbelles. Santiago, that is sent back. Zeta with a coverage. And Santiago with a kill.
Solid kill from Kate Santiago. She's been shifting positions, but doesn't matter. As effective.
Service Gonzaga.
Plays her in the outside on the opposite. She's okay. Soyud, that is set back.
So you turn back.
Met at the net.
6.
That's a huge stop for Zeus. That's heat check for Eli Soyud.
Akari Chargers.
Coach Taka doesn't want momentum on the side of Zeus Coffee as he calls for time.
Also, pasok, just back to base, even pass. Okay, so now it's like going to the wrong ball. Greta, going to cross side. If it's faster. If it's out of system, same layo. Okay, go.
Recover lang. Akari!
Early timeout called by Coach Taka Minoa. Down by 2 points.
Well, I'm sure he's heard or he's read the scouting reports about the improvement of Zeus, so he doesn't want to take a chance and let them increase their lead further.
It's a good save by Troncoso. Santiago again. Covers her own attack. Laksina. It's wide. And a 3-point lead by Zeus Coffee.
A bit of pressure, being Zeus Coffee playing well. They're just adding pressure to Akari. Now they're committing the errors. Ooh.
It's a save. Zeta will take that. Free ball though. Cal goes back to Sharma. Zeta again for the first ball. Bit too low for Gamit.
Whoa.
Oh, solid block.
Laksina, well read by Gamit.
Well, defense now working for Zeus.
4.
Check out this replay. This block of the set is brought to you by East West Bank, the official bank of the PVL All-Filipino Conference. We go to our first technical timeout. Set 3 between the Zeus Coffee Thunderbelles, who are up by 4 over the Akari Chargers here in this third set. All smiles for Ivy Laksina, who's got 13 points.
But she's got her work cut out for her. They are down by 4. Now this is a challenge for Akari.
Laksina, cross-court shot.
She wanted that point off of that
5.
technical timeout.
And she got it. And what a front row right now for Akari. This is when they want to give chase. They're down by 3.
That's
1-2 play.
a 1-2 play for Chloe Mondoñedo.
Just waiting patiently for that opportunity, and she puts that to the ground.
That's long. Service error for Kate Santiago. But they're still up by 3 points. So amongst the new players of Zeus Coffee, she's been the players playing the most minutes.
Yeah.
Started this game out, still on the court. So that one's long.
Outside shot.
We're talking about Kate Santiago.
Yes,
right? For me, Kate Santiago, you have to give her. You have to give her the number one. We always talk about confidence. And she has to be comfortable with this new team, because when she does that and gets comfortable, she becomes really the go-to player for Zeus. Wow.
Gamit slides to the right and
That's a point for Mitch Gamit.
10-7.
They're keeping Akari in arm's length.
Michelle Gamit. Zeus Coffee.
Right at bay. Thea Gagate is back on the court, but you can see as we get onto this rally, Mondoñedo with another 1-2 play.
I was surprised actually the defense of Akari wasn't ready for that. She did it once. Every time a setter gets that kill, they'll be more inclined to do it again. Especially if it's that near the net.
Cal, back sets. Soyut again.
Line, Soyut.
Continues with the efficient attacking.
You know, and when you know someone's got the hot hand, you want to take advantage.
Serving for Akari.
8-11. Fifi with a serve.
That's a good serve.
It's a bit tight. Back with the blue shirts. Troncoso. That hits the antenna after the block.
Also on the hit out.
Smart hit. Hitting it off the blockers. Going to the antenna.
Chay Troncoso with 2 points.
Oh!
And that is a service ace
15-8.
for Chloe Mondoñedo.
Boy, they're really doing a great job protecting this lead, and that's what you want to see all the way to 25 for Zeus Coffee. They want to force a 4th set here.
The biggest lead for the Thunderbelles in this game. Make that 6 after a violation. Coach Taka
14-8.
visibly displeased with this 3rd set.
Yeah, and look at the rotation of Zeus. You have Gagate, Troncoso, and Gonzaga.
So you get a ball touch.
Power front line.
9-14.
Much needed point after the dry spell for the Chargers. Cobb and Nisperos will enter the court. Nisperos has 2 off the bench. Cobb also had an ace the moment she stepped on the court in the 1st set.
Yeah, and they want that. They're pleading for Cobb to get another one.
Yeah, good first ball though by Santiago. Combination to Chay Troncoso, who scores her 3rd point. And by the way, as there's a challenge on the floor, ayoko maniwala sa sinabi ni Troncoso. Sabi niya, I asked her a while ago, how long have you been training with Zeus Coffee? A week and a half. But look at her performing in this game.
Well, she's the type of player we've seen through the conferences. No nonsense. Every time she's inside the court, she just plays her game and plays with all heart.
I remember that she had that 1 or 2 conferences with the Signal HC Spikers where she really made her name in that team.
Yeah. She even made it, I think, to the national team. You know, that one league that we're in, we fielded 2 teams.
Yeah.
And then one team is a younger one with Belen,
I think that was the EBC.
Yeah, something like that. I think, if I'm not mistaken.
So that one was right inside. Troncoso will serve after scoring that point on a good one, which allows Santiago to put it away. And we go to the second technical timeout. Zeus Coffee are up by 7. Mr. Frank Lau of the Zeus Coffee Thunderbelles. Of course, the Strong Group Athletics, which is the team that they bannered in their first conference officially in the PVL before they switched to Zeus Coffee last reinforced conference.
Well, we have to keep saying that we really appreciate these team owners for supporting PVL, supporting volleyball all together, and adding spice.
Yes,
because now they're different organizations.
Oh, look at that! Look at her go! Chai Troncoso, all giddy after that service ace.
Boy, her serves really giving Akari all sorts of problems.
4 points all in this third set for Troncoso. That time it's long.
Can afford.
Too much excitement.
The score. She can afford.
Yeah. Biggest lead of Zeus Coffee is at 8.
Right now, we will see how Akari will try to mount a comeback.
That's way out though.
Ball is out.
For Santiago.
11-17.
Well, you know, you don't want, if you're Zeus, you don't want to try too hard. You know, you've been successful just going for your hits. Don't try too hard, just try to get the point back.
Ravenna picks it up. Cobb tosses to Ivy, asking for that check, and it's awarded to Akari.
It's a ball touch.
Yeah, I saw Jov Gonzaga actually admitting that she did touch the ball.
So that's 3 straight points for the Chargers.
But you have to remember, if you're Zeus, that the pressure is on the side of Akari because they need to mount a comeback. What a dig.
Good save by Cobb. Laxina again. Had to stutter step. Wait for that ball. Gonzaga. Saved by Ravenna. Nisperos. That's too long. There's no touch.
Oh, they're going to challenge that. But, you know, we have to mention, we've been talking a lot about the attackers and the defense of Akari. What about Dani Ravenna and all her efforts in trying to keep the ball alive?
Well, you can see players letting everything out on the floor, just chasing after the ball. Ayaw ipahulog.
Well, from where we're sitting, it looked like it was out, but we will see what Faith saw. She had a better vantage point, I guess.
That's off to the right. And the hand, the left hand
There's no block touch.
of
Unsuccessful for
that Thunderbell, I believe that was Santiago,
Substitution.
was headed towards the opposite direction.
Versosa in.
Well, Gagate will head back to the bench. If you're asking, but hindi binababad yung first pick, because Coach Jerry is trying to shuffle, rotate the players, really find also, try out, experiment, kung sino ba yung mga okay na magsabay-sabay on the court. Meanwhile,
I think there was a collision at the net.
Jovelyn Gonzaga is slow to get up. Will shake that off.
She looks fine.
Yeah.
Balls in. Point for
Yeah, she is the bionic Ilongga after all, as we call her. But we are happy to see that she's able to get up.
Substitution.
Coach Jerry will
Zeus Coffee.
bring her out.
9. Pascal.
Yeah, I think she rolled her ankle
Yeah.
and will not take any chances.
Yeah.
You know, they have a pretty comfortable lead. It's good to check it out.
Pascual will re-enter. Santiago, it's kept alive by Sharma. Good save. Gamit. And it drops.
And in. 19 to 13.
Boy, you know, Zeus doing a great job maintaining and sustaining this lead.
Pascal. For Zeus Coffee.
19 to 13. Cobb to Laxina with a flyby.
Off the block.
And the point.
Laxina.
That's a better kill for Ivy Laxina. But what we're hoping to see from Akari is a bit of variety from their offense. You want to see a bit more slides,
Yeah.
a bit more running hits from the middles.
Laxina has surpassed her jersey number of 16. She now has 17 points. Santiago breaks the block.
The block. Santiago.
Well, that's what they should do. We have to say Zeus can play side-out volleyball, get a point, give a point, get a point, and go all the way to 25. Pretty comfortable lead.
No double-digit score yet for Zeus Coffee, but Santiago is a point away from getting to 10. Laxina has more points than her total in their first outing. She had 16 against Galleries. She has 18 tonight.
Pretty deceptive off-speed there. The blockers were on their way down, couldn't control that ball. You know, that's really frustrating.
Yeah. You're right there.
Yeah.
Di mo na makuha yung bola. Meanwhile, what a hit
For Chop.
from Mitch Gamit.
21 to 15. Substitution. Zeus Coffee.
We were asking from running from Akari. What about Gamit showing us that that's part of the Zeus arsenal?
3. Gagate in.
Yandok and Gagate will check in for Versosa and Gamit.
And Mondoñedo is in front. We have to say she had two excellent kills off the second touch.
No, you're right, as Yandok will be
Ball is
supposedly a service specialist,
out.
not as a setter, but she commits an error.
Yeah. They can still afford, have a comfortable 5-point lead,
Sharma.
but they have to be careful.
For the Chargers.
5-point game. Fifi Sharma serves 16 to 21. Mondoñedo bats too low for Gagate, but no problem.
Gagate.
Whatever works.
How did I get that in? Asking her teammates.
It's called you brushed it.
Mondoñedo, team captain.
Or
Serving for
it's
Zeus Coffee.
Luck.
luck on your first day on the job. Mitch Cobb gets that one.
Scores.
An easier version of that second ball over from a setter, but same result. But if you're Akari, I think you don't want to
Mitch Cobb.
play a fourth set because Zeus is looking
Yeah.
lethal here, so you want to give chase now.
They go to Troncoso. That is out.
Side shot. Troncoso. 18.
That's chipping off
Timeout.
1 point of the lead.
Coach Jerry calls for a timeout. They're still up by 4. Timeout called there by the Thunderbelles.
To tie this third set. At the service zone, their team
Wanting
captain,
to protect
number 6,
this lead.
Michelle Cobb.
They know that this is their last chance. They couldn't afford to lose another set as Cobb. That timeout ending up well for Zeus Coffee.
Yeah, that's a huge development on the side of Akari because you're down, then you give a free point. Now it's up to Zeus to actually claim set number 3. Oh!
Back-to-back service errors. One from
The Chargers.
Akari, one from Zeus Coffee.
Substitution. Akari.
The
9
tension.
16. Luxy.
Tense moments here in the third set.
Tension in the air.
Rachel Sultanes.
Will we extend or end in 3 sets?
Well, Zeus looks like they mean business here.
Saved by Cobb. That's enough height for Nisperos to catch up.
Chance.
Pagkakataon para si Zeus Coffee. They go to Pascual.
Oh,
Cobb
and a dig.
with another dig. Met at the net.
Oh, still alive. That's a good ball.
Saved by the Chargers. And Kagate with the put away.
Zeus Coffee.
Yeah, they're looking good. They're looking really good here, Zeus Coffee.
Substitution.
Scramble, scramble.
16 out.
That set up the #1 overall pick. Thea Gagate now with 7 points on her debut.
Serving for the set.
You know, with what's happening for me, you giving Zeus, they haven't won a lot of sets. You giving them 1 set victory may spell trouble in this match. And they get it.
That's long.
They get it.
Zeus Coffee, we're already at set point. And then the attack error. And there will be no challenge as the Zeus Coffee Thunderbelles will take set number 3. 25-19. We'll talk about the numbers right after this.
This match, you know, the first 2 sets, it looks like Akari has full control. But in the third set, Zeus just came out. Chai Troncoso, a huge difference there for Coach Jerry in the starting 6.
Right, difference maker. A new player for the Thunderbelles, Chai Troncoso, a former Signal HD spiker. Jovelyn Gonzaga also in the mix. However, just got hurt at the end of that third set, but she looks okay right now as we see her at the sidelines. But we take a look at the numbers right now, Noreen. And what spelled the difference in that third set?
Well, you look at all departments. Actually, the attacks, they had more blocks, more aces. So overall, a better set for Zeus. We were saying, you know, a lot of talk about this team, relatively a new team with changes and a lot of promise. And if the third set could, you know, be an example of what we've been talking or we've been hearing people talk about, then, you know, good things. It's a bright future for Zeus.
Right, and actually that is the first set won by ZUS Coffee against Akari Chargers in the reinforced where they met. The Chargers took that in straight sets against the Thunderbelles, so that's something that they could take pride of here in the new All-Filipino Conference as we bring you set number 4 on One Sports, Plus, and on Pilipinas Live. Dip Dipianco and Noreen Go still here covering the match on a late Thursday. Kyla Castillo will give us more updates later on.
Good dig.
It's the same unit for Coach Jerry Yee.
Oh.
Battle of the net won by Soltones.
That was just smart. That was what Jove Gonzaga did in set number 2, and Gretchen Soltones using their veteran smarts, we always like to call it.
A relatively quiet night for her, especially coming off a 16-point game against the high risers. Tonight she's got 6, but still making a difference. Oh, we don't often see that. On the violation at the service with Sharma using up the time allowed.
Coach Taco was saying that Sharma tossed the ball already when the clock hit 0.
Unforced error for the Chargers. Troncoso.
Good save.
With the last second save.
Wasted opportunity for Zeus. I like the flow of their offense. You see Mondoñedo changing things up, you know, distributing the ball really well, but yeah, that hitting error.
It's good to see Gonzaga back up and still hitting. Troncoso again. Laksina with a save. Soyud. Oh, with the extension. Some hang time for Ellie Soyud. As the Chargers are now up by 2 points.
And you see a different dimension to her game. You know, before she's it looked pretty one-dimensional, but now you see that the variety of her shots, her decision-making is in a different level.
Yeah, sabi nga ni Kyla, much is expected off of her now that Okaro is gone after the reinforced conference, so she will help out in the scoring load as we get this report from Kyla Castillo. Kyla?
Thank you, Dip. Now, gone are the days of moral victories. This conference, the ZUS Coffee Thunderbelles are focusing on the tangibles. Hard-fought wins. That is what Coach Jerry Yee told me earlier. Time after time, he mentioned how developing maturity within such young players is crucial in building a winning culture. Pero sa ngayon, inuunti-unti muna. Heavily focusing on the fundamentals, one of which is gelling. Na-improve naman during the recent stay sa farm kung saan walang signal, walang phones, and all that's left to do was chit-chat and build memories and that much needed chemistry, which we are starting to see now. Hold on to your seat, folks. The game's not yet over. Now, a quick update on Jobs Gonzaga, who twisted her left ankle during the latter part of set 3. Not to worry, everyone. The PTs of ZUS Coffee taped her up good, and Jobs even gave me a big thumbs up. And now she's back in the court, hungry to show more. Dip and Marine?
Thank you, Kyla, for that update. As we see Gonzaga getting another attempt. That one was out, though. But going back to the report of Kyla Castillo, those moral victories. Tapos na yun. That's the first chapter of their book. Kumbaga, we're good with that. It's time to get the games, to win the games, and improve our record.
When you talk about improvement, you know, again, the little victories. Now, going back to that. First set, their efficiency was 12%. Second set, 33%. Third set, 43%, and their efficiency was better than Akari. So that in itself, you're seeing the improvement. That's what you want to see, because it is obviously a process for a team to grow, and so far they're in step.
Yeah. It's 3-5. Gagate was at the service line. Laksina scoring and brings the lead back up to 3 for the Chargers.
Yeah, and you know, for Akari, it's an eye-opener that you cannot take any team for granted. You had an easy, relatively easy first 2 sets. In the third set, you give them some sort of life, some window of opportunity. They grabbed it, and you never know. You know, if you don't work hard, like how you did in the first 2 sets, Zeus can snatch this match from you.
Because they know that they can actually win sets.
They did already. Yeah, I agree.
Thiago powering that one. It went all the way to the other side. And out. That's out also. Back-to-back points for Zeus Coffee to cut the lead down to a single point.
Now Zeus won't go away. They know, you know, again, they believe they can win. And you have great players like in Gonzaga and Troncoso.
Kumbaga, if as Santiago gets another point off the block into the antenna, you're part of this Zeus Coffee team in the previous conferences. You're young, you're new to the league, and then all of a sudden you get players, veterans. Then you feel like you have backup. Kumbaga may rest back ka na eh.
That's true.
Veterano.
That's true. And once you have that, again, you'll be more at ease. Oh,
it's actually in.
Zeus Coffee
Denied.
Top by 1.
And 3 straight points for the Thunderbelles to take the lead back.
I told you they're not going away. And we have to mention, no, for Akari, their strength in the first 2 sets was their blocking. You know, not necessarily stuff blocks, but more of stop.
Yeah.
But in the third set, they had 0.
That was Mitch Gamit.
Yeah, that was Mitch Gamit.
Who, right that you mentioned the blocking, she has 3 blocks quietly.
Yeah, yeah.
But at the same time, it's loud because she has 10 points for Zeus Coffee.
And she's really playing well, you know, for me.
Santiago. That goes straight to me.
First technical timeout, 8 Zeus Coffees.
And we go to the first technical timeout. Zeus Coffee up by 1. Sean Alter, we know who he's supporting, the Gagate of the Zeus Coffee Thunderbelles. I think he just arrived straight from practice, I would assume, as the UP Fighting Maroons are still playing in the UAAP right now, assured of a Final Four spot in the men's basketball tournament. And Thea, in the media day of the PVL, we got the chance to talk to her and ask her a little bit about that side of her life, and she says it's perfect because they understand each other being athletes.
Right.
And supporting each other. Sean has been there even during the Alas Filipinas games. Meanwhile, Akari scoring a point off of that technical timeout.
You gotta tell Sean not to teach Thea Gagate any basketball stuff. She might just get recruited.
Actually, her brother is with the UP Fighting Maroons, Seven
Also,
Gagate. So
okay, yeah.
it's a family of athletes. Soyud.
Good cover.
Soltones. That's wide for the Lady Beast.
Yeah, you know, again, for Akari, they have to realize right now it's not going to come easy. You know, these players from Zeus, they're playing a different game.
They're here to play.
Yeah.
Sharma, the strongest of hits, but it's back with the Chargers. Soltones on the tip. Boy pa.
Mad scramble, but it's working.
Santiago read that one. Mondoniedo with the 1-2.
Good save.
Lavenes got it. Soyud again on the drop. Drops everywhere. Cal goes back to Ellie. And nope. As it heads straight to Erlindo Eusebio, who will not save that ball for them.
Yeah, but it's clear, you know, again, both teams, you gotta appreciate the effort they put in defense, right? All these drops are being kept alive.
Parang loot eh, no? Just dropping everything.
Loot and anyone can take anything.
Yeah. Power tip for Thea Gagate.
That's just smart. That's just smart. Point is a point.
Service error for Mondoniedo, who actually has 2 aces already in this game. But that time around, it was short.
Yeah. That's not how you want to start out a great rotation with the full front row.
10-all. Troncoso, that is sent back.
That didn't cross.
Yeah, actually it did not cross the net. So it's 4 touches for Zeus Coffee.
There's a challenge on the floor.
That's worth a challenge, yeah. I mean, if the ball is close to the tape, could be. We always say that there's a higher percentage of a ball touch. Or a block touch.
Yeah, important challenge as we are neck and neck here in the 4th set. Zeus Coffee Thunderbelles had a slow start in set 1. They only totaled 14 points. Had 21 in set 2 and then got set 3. It looked like it.
It is, yeah. Again, if it's that close, even though in real time it looked low, I mean, good challenge by Zeus.
So a successful challenge. We replay the point. 2 challenges still for the Thunderbelles. Gonzaga. Oravena has been saving those balls.
She's been everywhere.
Troncoso has been scoring.
Ball touch of Victoria.
The magic bunot so far for Coach Jerry Yee.
And then the fans would probably ask, especially watching Troncoso play for single before, why shouldn't she be considered a bunot? She should be a starter.
Yeah, she was once a starter for Signal. 5 points now for her. Soyud. Troncoso avoiding at the last millisecond. That close.
And that's what they needed.
So some breather at this point because we already have 6 deadlocks in this set. A 2-point lead. Oh! What happened there?
Obviously a mental breakdown there for Victoria, you know, to get or not to get, that is the question. And because if you move, you know, if the balls are, especially if the ball's close to a couple of players, if you move, then attempt and say something. Say something. Well, a 3-point lead for Zeus.
Cobb goes to Soltones. Kept alive by Laxina and the rest of the Chargers. It's back with the blue shirts. Santiago.
Good dig.
Ivy chases after it. Soltones again. Chance here. Gonzaga. Oh, collision between Ravenna and Laxina. Helping each other up. Battle of the net. Trying to avoid each other. The tip.
Good read.
Saved by Angeles. Nagate.
With a quick push.
Boy, Thea Gagate has been effective, not with strong hits, just finding the holes of Akari's defense.
Bring on the Thunder. The celebration for that long rally.
Well deserved.
4 straight points for the Thunderbelles. Soltones ends that streak.
That's a desperate, they desperately needed a point from their leader.
All business after that point. See that straight face. No reaction from Soltones. She knows they're still down. But again, they go to Thea, who now has 10 points.
That's what she's there for, It's not all hype.
You're right.
I love the smiles. Their feet, I think at the start of this match, they felt a little tense, jitters. But right now, you're seeing the smiles from Zeus.
Oh, look at her. Look at her.
Too low to cross.
Masyado na raw yun kung na-save pa niya.
Well, good effort though. But, one thing Thea will realize, Thea Gagate, it doesn't stop with one attempt. You got the first, obviously you can. You get the second, you can get the third.
Mondoñedo sets up the play to Santiago. Victoria unable to control. And it lands to the side of Zeus Coffee, who sends that wide. And the Chargers are within 2. Camille Victoria will serve. Klo, back sets. Gonzaga.
With the block.
Down it goes.
Second technical timeout.
For her 8th point.
Zeus Coffee.
And the second technical timeout. The Thunderbelles are up by 3. Back inside the Phil Oil Eco Oil Center in San Juan for the continuation of this matchup between the Zeus Coffee Thunderbelles and the Akari Chargers. And the former testing out the waters here with their new players, but they've managed to calm the waves and get their bearings going as of late.
Yeah. And that's what you like to see. Better late than never, as we talked about the format earlier. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. And you like to see all the improvements of all these teams.
Cobb goes to Laxina. Oh, had enough time to save it. But nobody home for Zeus Coffee.
Well, now we'll see what Akari can do, given that Zeus is playing at a different level. How are you going to counter that? You know, a lot of things that they can put into practice. Obviously, they're a stronger team from previous conferences. They started last conference.
That is wide for Kate Santiago. And don't look now, it's just a 1-point lead.
Service, Miss Peros.
Faith Nisperos is on deck to serve. 15-16. Back set and the running spike.
With a slide.
That's inside for Mitch Gamit, who has 11 points. 3 Thunderbelles now in double-digit scoring. Santiago with 12, Gamit with 11, and Gagate with 10. Cobb to Laxina on the drop.
Sina sees the hole.
22 points and counting. And a lot of variation on those plays for Ivy Laxina.
But they need more than that. I mean, for me, it's right now them chasing. Yes, they're just down by 1, but they need to go over the hump, try to tie the game and get the lead. That's for Akari. But Zeus, I feel they're looking good.
Saved by Faith. Cobb on the bump to Sultones. Gonzaga was there. Troncoso. Ravenna with the easy pickup. Play continues. Mondoniedo chases. Bump to Chai. Players diving, running after the ball.
Turn back.
And the Chargers tie this game up at 17-all.
And going back to their strength, right? The blocking, that's what, helped them with the first and the second set win. Now they're resorting to that once again, and the game is tied.
Oh, that clips the net, and it's an ace
And the Chargers.
for Ivy Laxina, who is having herself a game.
And actually carrying Akari on her back, trying to win this in 4 sets.
Lead swings to Akari. Battle of the net. Mondoniedo to Troncoso. Gonzaga was there for the coverage.
Oh!
And that is met at the net by Fifi Sharma.
Zeus Coffee.
Timeout called by Zeus Coffee.
Go, go! Okay, dito na kayo. Dito tayo tao.
Two-point lead for the Akari Chargers, who a while ago
The Akari Chargers.
was trailing behind
Still at the service
by
zone.
a couple of
16.
points, and they have turned things around at the latter part of this 4th set.
Well, we're seeing the Akari Chargers that won the first 2 sets towards the end of this 4th set. But again, Zeus will not go quietly into the night.
Zeus Coffee, 1 out.
Mitch Gamit delivering the goods. Now with 12 points, Dali Verzosa heads to the service line
Oliver Sosa.
as they try to be aggressive
The Thunderbelles.
and get some points. Cobb sets up Sultones.
Oh, that's huge. That is huge for Gretchen Sultones. They needed that. It can't be just Ivy Laxina.
Yeah.
You need help from the rest.
Doesn't matter anymore how much I scored tonight, as long as we get the W and get those important points as Sharma serves 20-18. Mondoñedo bumps it to Troncoso. Kept alive by Ivy. Soltones waits for it. Angeles with a dig. And the free ball. And Victoria will not waste that one.
Yeah, now Akari, they're coming together. Everyone's trying or doing their part, you know, to try to bring them to the finish line.
3-point lead for the Chargers. 4 points away from getting their second win. And nobody got that as Fifi Sharma with the ace.
Timeout, Zeus Coffee.
Look at that ball drop.
Wow. That's all I can say. Wow.
Timeout, Zeus Coffee. A meltdown at the latter part of this fourth set. A 7-1 run for the Akari Chargers.
22-18.
The reinforced conference runners-up.
On top, Fifi Sharma.
Flipping the switch. And using their experience. Meanwhile, Gagate has other plans.
19.
Wanting to extend this game. Wanting to extend her debut.
Team captain, Chloe Mondoñedo.
3 points away
Zeus Coffee.
are the Zeus Coffee Thunderbelles from tying this game up. But Akari also 3 points away
Miss hit
from winning this. But Victoria couldn't connect. And it's Coach Taka calling for a timeout. Chargers want to finish this one off as they tell each other that it's the Thunderbelles trying to chase.
Just 2 points for Zeus
20
Coffee.
serving 22
Team captain
here in set 4.
Serving.
That's a misreceive. Let's see what they do here though. Kept alive.
Yep.
Gonzaga. Easy pickup. Cobb will go to Soltones and
Oh!
the dig by Angeles. Troncoso with the push. Play continues. The tip. No. Troncoso. That's a tough angle.
Still alive.
Ivy in the bump. Soltones. Kept up. Free ball. Denied by Gagate. The push. And it's in for Gretchen Soltones on a back and forth action.
Well, both teams will not budge. You really need to find those holes, and Gretchen Soltones found that hole.
Oh, that was way inside, and we knew from the names of these teams, Chargers, Thunderbelles, it was going to be electric.
It is. And we are actually, the fans and us, we're being entertained to great volleyball.
The response, it's in for Thea Gagate. Let me join you on the leading scorers department.
Let me see if we still have that final push to force a fifth set.
A trio of Gamit, Gagate, and Santiago. GGS all with 12 points each. Let's see what the Chargers do. Cobb goes to Soltones. She's been the hot hand.
Yeah.
Angeles saves it. Santiago kept up. Mondoñedo chooses Gonzaga. Jovelin.
Oh, what a dig.
The save by Cobb. Ravenna. That's tight. Saved by Troncoso. Here comes Gagate. Players diving. Nobody getting it up. And the point for the Thunderbelles. And Sean loves what he's seeing.
And in these crucial moments, you know that these players will tense up. And we saw the defense split second late there.
Thea Gagate, unfazed. No nerves whatsoever in her first game. She now leads the scoring for Zeus Coffee. And the service ace by Chai Troncoso. What a rally late here in set number 4 for Zeus Coffee.
Yeah, and what a turn of events.
Look at that ball just ricocheting off the players. But first, let's listen in to this timeout. Deadlock at 23 all. Who would have thought? They did. The ladies in blue.
Who would have thought it would make a game out of this fourth set? It looked like Akari was well on their way, but Zeus, again, we said it so many times, will not go away.
Better first ball. Nisperos puts it away. And the Chargers are at match point.
Well, not the game that she wanted to follow up with her previous 16 points, but with that hit, that's all that matters. What you can contribute to your squad.
Give that to me, says Nisperos. Good reception. Santiago. Chance here for the Chargers. Ravena to Nisperos.
Oh!
It's still alive. Another try for Akari. Cobb to Laxina. And down. It goes. And the Akari Chargers survive the late comeback.
Boy, I mean, that's a great response from Akari. That's for their fans. You know, they were challenged, but they came up with 2 huge kills.
And Ivy Laxina, 24 big points. And ultimately the win for the so far undefeated Akari Chargers on a 2-0 start. Oh, what a game that was, Nareen.
Yeah. No, and we have to say, Dip, we kept saying Zeus is a better team this conference,
Yeah.
and they did show us.
Yeah.
So it's just, you know, for their fans, are excited to see the future games and more progress for the Thunderbelles.
Now watch out the rest of the playing field as they've now seen the new look Zeus Thunderbelles. They can compete.
Yep.
But this is our final score with the Chargers getting the job done in 4 sets. That fourth one was so close. They had to use up both of their timeouts, and in the end, they prevailed.
Yeah. But you have to give it again to Akari. Huge hit. One from Faith Esperos, one from Ivy Laxina. You know, again, what you like from this match is that Akari, although favored in paper, it wasn't easy.
Yeah.
They, especially the fourth set, they had to work really hard.
It almost went into 5 sets even. But Akari Chargers, just the experience, able to keep calm on that pressure-packed situation.
Yeah.
And got the final 2 points as we send this to Kyla Castillo, who is with the best player of the game. Go ahead, Kyla.
Thank you so much, Dip and Noreen. I'm with our player of the game, Ivy Laxina of the Akari Chargers, garnering 24 big points from 22 attacks, 1 block, 1 ace. Wow, Ivy, 51% attack efficiency. And throughout this match, kitang-kita yung confidence mo, no? And of course, the whole team. Now, pwede mo bang ikwento sa amin gaano katagal yung naging journey nyo para ma-achieve itong level ng confidence na ito?
Siguro, syempre, sobrang haba talaga ng process para makuha namin yung confidence na to. Though hindi pa po ganun kapulido, pero kahit ba unti-unti po ngayong season, nakukuha po namin.
Yes, and kitang-kita naman natin yung lahat. Ngayon, Ivy, ano yung tumatakbo sa isip mo kanina habang humahabol, naghahabol kayo, rather sa Zeus Coffee at muntik pa sanang ma-extend ito?
Siguro po, doon po pumasok yung teamwork namin, yung sistema ni Coach Taka, and yung puso po talaga namin sa laro.
Yes, lastly, you mentioned yung sistema ni Coach Taka. And na-mention sa akin niya kanina, no, na tinitrain niya kayo para maging thinking player. Paano mo yun na-apply this game?
Siguro po sa tulong din po ng mga coaches and ng mga teammates ko po kasi yun nga po, parang dikitan na po yung laban. So kami lang po yung magkakapitan po talaga.
That's right. At talaga namang nag-shine ang inyong total team effort. Now, Ivy, meron ka bang mga gustong batiyan at pasalamatan? Go ahead.
Gusto ko po magpa-thank you sa mga nag-support po sa Akari and sa management po namin and sa Laksina family, Lapus family and sa Wong family and kay Adi and sa family po ng teammates ko po and kina mama and daddy po.
All right, there you have it. Our player of the game from the Akari Chargers, Ivy Laksina. Let's close this out. Dipanarine.
Indeed, thanks Kyla. There you have it, the best player of the game, 24 markers in this game for Ivy Laksina. And the win for the 2-0 Akari Chargers. Our games will continue as we transfer all the way to the United Center in Antipolo. It will be the Signal HD Spikers versus the Farm Fresh Foxies, who will see action for the first time this conference, and then followed up by a big one, the Petrogas Angels and the Creamline Cool Smashers at 6:30 p.m. So we'll see you up there in the East for our PVL action. That does it for our games today inside the Philo Eco Oil Center. The Chocamucha Flying Titans winning in 5 sets earlier, and then Akari Chargers staying undefeated as they get the win over the Zeus Coffee Thunderbelles and spoil the debut of Thea Gagate. And watch out as we will see more of the PVL action right here. On behalf of my partner Noreen Go, our courtside reporter Kyla Castillo, my name is Dip Dipiaco saying thank you for watching the Premier Volleyball League. This is the heart of volleyball.